Hi, my name's River. I go by Kimasabe. I'm one of the co-founders of Solana Sanctuary. Sanctuary is it's a lot of different things, but um, we came together back in very early September, October, right around then, and we were all victims of NFT rug pulls, and we're very frustrated about it. Like, well, what can we do about this? There's a lot of there's not really a path to value for people who get scammed or rug pulled or whatever it might be. Um, and what we kind of decided was that it was the answer was a DAO. And for every rug pull, for the most part, the answer was a DAO. There's a big gap to leap across in that, and the main pain point there is that every NFT on Solana is there's not really a way to there wasn't a way to fork it. There wasn't really a way to take an existing NFT collection and update it to serve royalties to a DAO or the community or whatever it might be. And then that's kind of like the core piece behind what we're trying to do, is really giving people the ability to kind of pick up the end of the rope that's left by developers in the NFT ecosystem. The other big piece of this too is that we think, this is our hot take, that NFTs and rug pulls are probably the lowest barrier to entry to DAOs that are possible. And that's partially because it's a very simple concept, right? You've got a JPEG, you have something you like, but everybody's uniting for a common purpose, whether that's just to make money, to flip it, or to like I like the art, that sort of motivation. I don't know. Does clicker work? Okay, I'll vamp on it then. So over the last 8 or so months, we estimate that there has been $100 million in direct Solana liquidity lost in the ecosystem to rug pulls. That's mints that have been sucked Solana out of the ecosystem, wormholed it to ETH, wherever that might be. But it's a really, really, really large problem. It's extracting value, economic value from everything that pretty much everybody does in the ecosystem. There it is right there. One of the first Solana NFTs on chain, they minted out and then took 130,000 Solana, bridged it straight to ETH. We found chains of rugs, up to 50 different rug projects, all by one person. And all of these things come from a very, very, it wasn't necessarily an oversight. It's a feature, not a bug, that every NFT project is completely centralized. Unless those on Solana, unless the developers choose to make an NFT project immutable, the update authority, the royalties, all that stuff is completely centralized, which means if there's a single developer on a project, he can decide to change the royalties, the secondary royalties, to 100%. Anybody that has their NFT listed and it sells, basically all the money goes to that developer or that team or whoever. The other big piece there is that most of these teams are completely anonymous, so there's no recourse, there's no action that can be taken. Legality of it's a big question. So yeah, big problem, scary, whatever. What do we do about it? There was a protocol called the Token Entangler, Quantum Entangler, developed by Metaplex and Jordan at Metaplex. This protocol was built to essentially update old NFTs to the new metadata standard, and fix them as well. We kind of shoehorned that into being a remint protocol. What we do is essentially take a rugged community that wants to do something about their losses, their bags, whatever, or just build something together. And we take the old token and it's on one side, and then we basically duplicate that token with new metadata, new images, new art sometimes, and then stick that into a vault. And then the user can come through and swap to the new token. And then that update authority and then the royalties and stuff can be controlled more by a DAO. And then they have a path to value. It's not an easy path to value. It can be something that is, it's not easy to make a lot of money off of royalties if you don't have upfront cash and whatnot. But some are successful, others not so much. it's really been an experience of just kind of seeing how a community can organize itself in a meaningful capacity. I would say the core things that we're looking to solve are one, centralization and NFTs. That gives a whole cascade of issues to the full ecosystem, right? Like from there, you have people who have there's anonymous developers. Because it's centralized, they can be completely anonymous. There's no recourse to them. That leads to mistrust amongst the communities. There's no trust amongst these different communities to work together or build anything. That's kind of the ethos. I'm vamping a bit because I don't have my little notes here. But now we're working towards building out a much more efficient entangler protocol. Right now, the current entangler costs like 200 something SOL to do a 10,000 PFP just in account rent. We've made a few different protocols in terms of like burning old NFTs so that you can take 5 or 6 or 10 different NFT communities who have been rugged, have no money or no like direction, don't have enough people in their communities to actually do anything with them, and activate the people in those communities who do want to do something, bringing them together, burn their old tokens, essentially, like dust or ash, DeGods scenario, where they basically get a whitelist token, and then as a DAO can create an NFT project together, rather than it being something that is, a path from centralization to decentralization. It's definitely a social experiment starting decentralized, but that's pretty much the spiel. Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah, I got rugged and I've never been a good trader, so it was like, oh, what do I do? What do I build about it? Like, how do I fix this as a problem? Because it was it was happening a lot, not just to me, but to a lot of people. And I was like, yeah, there's got to be a way to build something about it.
Besides adding a CAPTCHA in the candy machine, do you believe there's a way to minimize rugging?
Yeah. So what we do to kind of make these reminted projects rug-proof to date, I think we set up the first, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, the first NFT DAOs on Solana, on Realms, back in September, October time. I believe that was the Sanctuary, Chicken Tribe, Exiled Apes. If anybody has an earlier one, please jump in and yell at me. But the way we kind of make these things rug-proof, at least to date, is to make rugging illegal from the get-go. The easiest, and there's already a way to do it, it's not hard, is you set up a DAO. You have a few people on there as multi-sig holders, maybe community members. Doesn't even necessarily have to have all the vesting schedules or any of that stuff. Like, that would be great, but you don't necessarily need that. But just dox everybody who is a multi-sig holder, because then instead of someone holding all these funds, there's a wallet that holds these funds, and if someone colludes to steal from that wallet, you've stolen something. It's illegal. If every project minted like that, it's there's actually a legal recourse to pursue.
Cool. Anyone else? No? Okay, the Solana Sanctuary, ladies and gentlemen.